The Order of the Golden Fleece is an order of chivalry founded in Bruges by Philip III, Duke of Burgundy in 1430, to celebrate his marriage to the Portuguese princess Infanta Isabella of Portugal, daughter of King John I of Portugal. It became one of the most prestigious orders in Europe. Today there exist two branches of the order, the Spanish and the Austrian Fleece. The current sovereigns are respectively Felipe VI, King of Spain, and Karl von Habsburg, grandson of Emperor Charles I of Austria. The chaplain of the Austrian branch is Cardinal Christoph Schönborn. Origin: the Order of the Golden Fleece was established on January 10, 1430, by Philip the Good, Duke of Burgundy, in celebration of the prosperous and wealthy domains united in his person that ran from Flanders to Switzerland. It is restricted to a limited number of knights, initially 24 but increased to 30 in 1433, and 50 in 1516, plus the sovereign. It received further privileges unusual to any order of knighthood. The sovereign undertook to consult the order before going to war. All disputes between the knights were to be settled by the order. At each chapter the deeds of each knight were held in review, and punishments and admonitions were dealt out to offenders, and to this the sovereign was expressly subject. The knights could claim as of right to be tried by their fellows on charges of rebellion, heresy and treason, and Charles V conferred on the order exclusive jurisdiction over all crimes committed by the knights. The arrest of the offender had to be by warrant signed by at least 6 knights, and during the process of charge and trial he remained not in prison but in the gentle custody of his fellow knights. The order, conceived in an ecclesiastical spirit in which mass and obsequies were prominent and the knights were seated in chapels like canons, was explicitly denied to heretics, and so became an exclusively Catholic award during the Reformation. The officers of the order were the Chancellor, the Treasurer, the Registrar, and the King of Arms, or Herald, Toison. The Duke's stated reason for founding this institution had been given in a proclamation issued following his marriage, in which he wrote that he had done so for the reverence of God and the maintenance of our Christian faith, and to honor and exalt the noble order of knighthood, and also to do honor to old knights, so that those who are at present still capable and strong of body and do each day the deeds pertaining to chivalry shall have cause to continue from good to better. And so that those knights and gentlemen who shall see worn the order should honor those who wear it, and be encouraged to employ themselves in noble deeds. The Order of the Golden Fleece was defended from possible accusations of prideful pomp by the Burgundian court poet Nicole Taillevent, who asserted that it was instituted, translated into English, the choice of the Golden Fleece of Georgian Kingdom of Colchis as the symbol of a Christian order caused some controversy, not so much because of its pagan context, which could be incorporated in chivalric ideals, as in the Nine Worthies, but because the feats of Jason, familiar to all, were not without causes of reproach, expressed in anti-Burgundian terms by Alain Chartier in his Ballet de Fougueres. Referring to Jason as, who, to carry off the fleece of Colchis, was willing to commit perjury. The Bishop of Car St. Lons, Chancellor of the Order, rescued the fleece's reputation by identifying it instead with the fleece of Gideon that received the dew of heaven. The badge of the Order, in the form of a sheepskin, was suspended from a jeweled collar of fire steels in the shape of the letter B, for Burgundy, linked by flints. With the motto Pretium Laborum Non Val engraved on the front of the central link, and Philip's motto Non Aliad on the back. Habsburg Order: with the absorption of the Burgundian lands into the Habsburg Empire, the sovereignty of the order passed to the Habsburg kings of Spain, where it remained until the death of the last of the Spanish Habsburgs, Charles II, in 1700. He was succeeded as king by Philip V, a Bourbon. The dispute between Philip and the Habsburg pretender to the Spanish throne, the Archduke Charles, led to the War of the Spanish Succession, and also resulted in the division of the order into Spanish and Austrian branches. In either case the sovereign, as Duke of Burgundy, writes the letter of appointment in French. Spanish Order. The controversial award of the order to Napoleon and his brother Joseph, while Spain was occupied by French troops, angered the exiled King of France, Louis XVIII, and caused him to return his collar in protest. These, and other awards by Joseph, were revoked by King Ferdinand on the restoration of Bourbon rule in 1813. In 1812 the acting government of Spain awarded the order to the Duke of Wellington, an act confirmed by Ferdinand on his resumption of power, with the approval of Pope Pius VII. Wellington therefore became the first Protestant to be awarded the Golden Fleece. It has subsequently also been awarded to non-Christians, such as Bhumibol Adulyadej, King of Thailand. There was another crisis in 1833 when Isabella II became Queen of Spain in defiance of Salic law that didn't allow women to become heads of state. Her right to award the fleece was challenged by Spanish Carlists. Sovereignty remained with the head of the Spanish House of Bourbon during the Republican and Francoist periods and is held today by the present King of Spain, Felipe VI. Knights of the Order are entitled to be addressed with the style His Her Excellency in front of their name. Living members of the Order, below a list of the names of the living knights and ladies, in chronologic order and with between brackets the date when they were inducted into the Order. The King of Spain, a Euro sovereign of the Order since 2014 after his father abdicated his rights to him. King Juan Carlos I of Spain, the Duke of Calabria, King Constantine II of Greece, the King of Sweden, Grand Duke Jean of Luxembourg, the Emperor of Japan, Princess Beatrix of the Netherlands, the Queen of Denmark, the Queen of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth realms, King Albert II of Belgium, the King of Norway, Tsar Simeon II of Bulgaria, the King of Thailand, the Grand Duke of Luxembourg, the King of Saudi Arabia, Javier Solana, Bartolomé de la Concha, Nicolas Sarkozy, President of the French Republic, 2007 a Euro 2012 and Co-Prince of Andorra, Enrique Valenta N. Iglesias, Armorial of the Spanish Golden Fleece, Austrian Order. The Austrian Order did not suffer from the political difficulties of the Spanish, remaining an award solely for Catholic royals and nobles. The problem of female inheritance was avoided on the accession of Maria Theresa in 1740 as sovereignty of the order passed not to herself but to her husband, Francis. Upon the collapse of the Austrian monarchy after the First World War, King Albert I of Belgium requested that the sovereignty and treasure of the order be transferred to him as the ruler of the former Habsburg lands of Burgundy. This claim was seriously considered by the victorious Allies at Versailles but was eventually rejected due to the intervention of King Alfonso XIII of Spain, who took possession of the property of the order on behalf of the dethroned Emperor, Charles I of Austria. Sovereignty remains with the head of the House of Habsburg, which was handed over in 2007 by Otto von Habsburg to his eldest son, Karl von Habsburg. Living members of the order, below a list of the names of the living knights, in chronological order and with between brackets the date when they were inducted into the order: Archduke Joseph Uppidi of Austria, the Duke of Bavaria, Count Johann Larisch of Mernich, Archduke Karl of Austria, Euro sovereign of the order since 2000, Archduke Andreas Salvator of Austria, Prince of Tuscany, Archduke Karl Salvator of Austria, Prince of Tuscany, Prince Lawrence of Belgium, Archduke of Austria Est, Archduke Michael Coloman of Austria, Archduke Michael Salvator of Austria, Prince of Tuscany, Archduke Georg of Austria, Archduke Karl Christian of Austria, Archduke Joseph of Austria, King Albert II of Belgium, Grand Duke Jean of Luxembourg, Prince Albrecht of Hohenberg, the Duke of Wawon-Korterutenberg, the Prince of Lobkowicz, Count Johann of Hoyos-Sprinzenstein, the Prince of Waldburg-Zeil and Schwarzburg, the Prince of Liechtenstein, Prince Clemens of Altenburg, the Duke of Braganza, Count Joseph of Neperg, the Duke of Hohenberg, the Prince of Schwarzenberg, Archduke Joseph of Austria, the Prince of La Paragraph Weinstein-Wertheim-Rosenberg, Count Gottfried of Czernin of Chudenitz, the Prince of Orsini-Rosenberg, the Prince of Windisch-Grau-Currency TZ. Olivier, Count of Ormezon, Baron Johann Friedrich of Solomaka-Antweiler, Baron Nicholas Adamovich de Ksepin, Count Alexander of Potterhofen, a Euro Chancellor of the Order, Christoph Cardinal Paragraph NBORN, Archbishop of Vienna, a Euro Chaplain of the Order, Baron Wolf Gordian of Hauser, a Euro Treasurer of the Order, Count Philip of Clam-Martinic, a Euro Registrar of the Order, Count Karl Albrecht of Waldstein-Wartenberg, a Euro Herald of the Order, Bernard Guerrier de Dumest, the Prince of Paynegier-Uricht, the King of the Belgians, the Prince of Line, Prince Charles Louis de Merode, Archduke Ferdinand Zvonimir of Austria, Alexander, Margrave of Meissen, Chapters of the Order. Insignia. See also, List of Knights of the Golden Fleece, references. Literature, Weltliche und Geistliche Schatzkammer. Bald for 1/4 rare. Kunsthistorischen Museum, Vienna. 1987. ISBN 3-7017-0499-6, Philips, Hermann. Die Schatzkammer in Wien, Symbolabendler Currenziendischen Kanaisertums. Vienna, 1986. ISBN 3-7017-0443-0, Philips, Hermann. Der Schatz des Ordens vom Goldenen Vlies. Vienna, 1988. ISBN 3-7017-0541-0, Bolton, Desi Jonathan Dacre, 1987. The Knights of the Crown, the Monarchical Orders of Knighthood in Later Medieval Europe, 1325 €1520, Woodbridge, Suffolk, Revised edition 2000. External links: The Society of the Golden Fleece, an association of people interested in the order, the most illustrious order of the Golden Fleece, at a reference site on chivalric orders. This article incorporates text from a publication now in the public domain, a Chisholm, Hugh, ed. Encyclopædia Britannica. Cambridge University Press A.